everything was changing around me. I felt like I didn't connect with anybody that I had previously connected with, and it was really weird. It was like, how am I supposed to survive in this world anymore? It's like I'm not even who I believed I was anymore. I feel so alone. I feel like nobody gets me anymore. I feel like there's nowhere to turn. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Crystals. My name is Eli, and today I'm going to be talking about my spiritual awakening story. I'm going to be sharing my story of how I had a spiritual awakening and what got me on YouTube, how it all started, and what's led me up to this point. And I think this video is going to be really relatable for a lot of people, because I'm sure there are somewhere in my story you're going to have similar experiences that led to your spiritual awakening, because there tend to be common themes that lead people to this point. But let's get into it. We're going to take it all the way back to when I was in college. And now I'm still at a community college right now, but this is at my old university, the one that I went to when I first graduated high school, which I only stayed at this college for a year. And because of that, because of some of the reasons I'm about to get into, but basically, I felt like an outcast. I felt like I didn't fit in at this school. In high school, I felt pretty good about, you know, I had friends. I was kind of doing things that seemed normal. I always felt a little bit out of place throughout my whole life. I always felt like I was a little bit different in some ways, but I was good at putting on a show for other people. I was good at putting on that mask and pretending to be someone that I wasn't completely deep down. And that's not to say I acted like a complete fake person in high school. That's, you know, that's who I was at the time. But I was always seeking to please others and, you know, having that people-pleasing mentality where I was more concerned about what other people would think of me than what I actually wanted to do. And, you know, there was always a lot of resistance and, you know, hating school, feeling like I'm here for a bigger purpose, but I don't know what that purpose is. What is life really all about? What is the point of all this? Are we just supposed to work a job we hate and die? Are we supposed to just go to school, follow all the rules, and then be transported into another life of doing the same thing but at a company or whatever it is, and then just die? And so I was always really confused, and I would skip school. I would leave school in the middle of the day, just drive around in my car, just go park somewhere and just not be at school. You know, this is towards my junior and senior year of high school where I really started to get to that point. And, you know, just goofing off, doing a lot of stuff with my friends. Actually, where I am right now was a spot that we would all come to. So it's crazy that I make videos here now. But that's just laying the groundwork for how I was feeling going into college. Not really into it. Not really feeling like this has any purpose for me. So then when I got to college, I felt like I'm an outcast now. I'm more of an outcast than I was before, because I never really felt like a complete outcast in high school. I still had friends, had a lot of friends, you know, maybe some few close friends. But towards the end of high school, I got into this relationship, and I wasn't hanging out with my friends as much. I would hang out with like this one friend pretty much every day, and maybe this one other friend, but I was mainly just with my girlfriend like all the time, just completely giving my whole identity to this relationship. And knowing that is going to play a big part in later aspects of this story. So stick around if you want to know what happened. But now we're going to get to college. It was like a weird vibe at this place. It was like, I don't really feel like I fit in with the dynamic that's going on here. The way some of these people acted, very superficial. People didn't really get me on a level that I thought they should, and I didn't really have any friends. The only friends that I had were my roommates, and that friendship slowly dwindled after getting into a fight with one of my roommates after we went to a party, because he would sometimes like unintentionally like push my buttons probably. I'm saying it was unintentionally most likely, but I took it as this guy's making fun of me. He's lowering my self-esteem. He's driving me crazy, and I'm living in the same room as him. And then we never even talked after that for the rest of the year until I left that school, and I didn't even spend the school was pretty close to my house, so I actually would just drive to the school to do my work, like to go to classes and stuff, and I was just living at home again. That's how much I hated it. I just went to live back at home. But I've apologized to this guy since, after my spiritual awakening, and told him, you know, no hard feelings about all this, and I hope that he can forgive me, and he did. He said we were both going through a lot at the time, so that's in the past. We don't have to worry about that. But that's how I was feeling. I felt like I had no friends. The only friends that I did have were just people that I was placed with, because they're my random chosen roommates, and I never really connected with any other people because I was too socially anxious to put myself out there, or I couldn't really find people that seemed like they were matches for me. I don't know. It was just a really difficult time in my life where I just felt so down, and this is where my spiritual awakening began, because I felt lost. I felt like everything I'd ever known was changing, and I wasn't fitting in. And I was like, what is the point of all of this? Why am I even here? I was like really depressed at this point, because my girlfriend had been kind of distancing herself from me, even though we were still dating. It was like off and on type of thing. She wanted to leave me, but I was so attached to this relationship that it was like there's no way I could live without her. That's what I thought. It's like, what am I going to do without her? Because my whole identity was tied to this relationship, as I said earlier in the video. And so I was really depressed. I felt like I had no purpose in life. I was now at a community college, and I was just lost. So then I came across a YouTube video, and this is a very important part of the journey. This is what started it all. Aside from the fact that I was already feeling like I didn't have any friends and I didn't fit in, I came across a video called Why You Have Zero Friends and Don't Fit In by Spiritual So. A lot of you may know Spiritual So. He might be too intense for some of you, but he's the guy that I originally came across that sparked my spiritual awakening. Of course, a lot of things happened that made me have a real spiritual awakening after that, but he was the small light that ignited the flame within me. And in this video, Why You Have Zero Friends and Don't Fit In, he was talking about how your higher self doesn't want you around all these people. Your higher self doesn't want you hanging out with these people, wasting your time, and maybe there's a better reason for being alone, and you actually have a really great opportunity when you're all alone, because now you don't have to worry about other people and worry about getting dragged into things that you don't want to do or whatever it is. And it's the first time I ever heard about the higher self or anything like that. If you want my higher self meditation, I actually have it pinned in the comments and the description. That I just made a higher self guided meditation you can listen to. But aside from the plug there, basically, I felt like this video resonated with me so deeply. It was like the answer to all my questions. It's just a normal video, but to me it was a saving grace. It was like, oh my God, like it all makes sense now. What is the higher self? What is all this? And that led me into watching other YouTube videos about things regarding a spiritual awakening, which I already felt different before seeing that video. I felt like something was changing within me, and I was seeing the world in a different way already. But then I kind of got confirmation that I'm not going completely crazy. There are other people that are going through this type of thing. And so then I started watching like Aaron Dowdy, Victor Odo, Infinite Waters, Aaron Abkey, Jake Ducey, all the popular people on YouTube within the spirituality niche. And I was getting kind of information about this idea that I had been feeling, and it was like everything felt like it was so meant to be. It was the craziest time of my life. It was like everything that I heard, it all just made sense to me, and I had so much hope for life again. I was like, there is a purpose to being here. It makes sense now. And I got all this information, but it wasn't until I decided to meditate that I really had a spiritual awakening. And I think it was an Aaron Dowdy meditation that I did. I don't know which one it was, but I did this meditation, and when I was done with it, I felt like a different person. I felt like I had transitioned into a parallel reality, and my life had been transformed. The colors were brighter outside. I had this, like, my vibration just rose. It was like, I am not here to just be like everybody else. I am here to change this world. I'm here to do something. And so right after this, it's pretty funny, I got on my phone, and this is around the time that my spiritual awakening started, around the end of 2019. And so I got on my phone after doing this meditation. I was in my car. It was at night, and I drove somewhere, or I was in my car in a parking lot on my phone, making a TikToks on my normal account. Like, Universal Crystals wasn't a thing. It was just my account, Eli's account, with all my friends on there. And I was just recording myself going, you know, guys, your pure consciousness, and we're all connected to everything, and you just got to trust your intuition, and everything will work out. And there's so much more to life that we haven't been told about. We've been lied to. There's all these things happening, and I was just ranting on there. And I wouldn't even do that now, but the energy that I felt at that point, I was like, I don't care at all about what anyone thinks of this. I'm just excited because I've discovered who I really am. And so then I took those videos down probably not too long after that, but that's kind of where I was. And so I spent, you know, maybe the next few months, kind of maybe month or two, maybe 3 months, I don't know how long it was, kind of just going through life feeling like I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I feel that I'm connected to everything. I don't just conceptually know it, I feel it. I feel the present moment. I feel that I have awakened to who I truly am. I am not this body. I am not this identity, this fake persona that I had been presenting to everyone else. I'd been so good at putting on that mask. I was a master at pretending. I was a master at pretending that I'm somebody that I really wasn't. I became so fed up with my mind, fed up with my ego, fed up with the intrusive thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the negative beliefs that I believed about myself, and the terrible self-esteem I had, and just everything bogging me down. It was like everything just sucked. I hated myself. I hated life. I hated the ego. I hated my fake self. I hated the person that I was pretending to be. Just like Jim Carrey says, you know, depression is your body realizing that it doesn't want to play this character anymore. And I was tired of playing that character. I was so tired of playing that character. And I realized that I was a spiritual being. I was pure consciousness. I was connected to everything. And now I could do whatever I wanted, because I wasn't constricted by my mind and the limits that I had been placing on myself of what I could achieve in life. And my world was now opened up. I felt the divine presence within everything. I felt the wind was part of me. I felt the trees were part of me. I felt like I could change people's lives the same way that my life had been changed by others. I felt like I finally had a purpose in life. I finally didn't have to worry about school. I didn't have to worry about working for someone else. I felt like my life was already laid out for me before that. I felt like there was really no way I could get out of doing what I thought I should be doing. And then I just started following my heart. I just started following my intuition, seeing repeating numbers everywhere, seeing all of these synchronicities and just complete, utter crazy signs, like listening to the song "Have You Ever Seen the Rain?" And it's in that song it says, "Have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?" And it was a bright, beautiful sunny day, and I'm just driving down the road and no rain anywhere. But as soon as that line comes into the song, it starts raining. It just starts raining, like in one spot on my car, and then the rain goes away right after that. It just started coming down on a sunny day, just like the song. And that's just one off the top of my head, but there's so many of them. It was like every little thing I was doing felt divinely inspired. It felt like I'm finally doing what I'm meant to do, because my heart is my greatest power. My intuition is my greatest power. I know what's really meant for me. I know what I'm capable of now. And it was beautiful. It was the most amazing time of my life. And slowly things got in the way of that, but those were also things that I had to go through to advance spiritually, to advance in my life, and to know what I really want to do. I remember texting my dad at one point when I was like going through a lot of stuff, and I said, "I just want to go live in the woods." He was like, "What?" Like, I mean, I'm sure he thought, like, what is going on with this guy? I was just like, I just want to go live in the woods. I don't care about anything. It was like, I just completely wanted to dissociate from society. Like, I just hated everything that I was a part of. I hated myself that I previously believed I was. And when I realized my true self, I was like, none of this stuff even matters. I've been right all along. But then what am I going to do with this information? I've always loved making videos. I had a movie review channel when I was younger. I've made sports highlight videos, some of which have gotten over, like, way over the thousands of views on my YouTube channel. So I had a talent for making videos. That's what I've always wanted to do. but I didn't really know how that was going to happen. And I wanted to help other people. I wanted to be that person that somebody can relate to while they're going through their spiritual awakening, because I was going through it. And I found other people on YouTube that I had been watching that inspired me and let me know that it was okay, and let me know that I'm not going crazy, I'm just awakening. And I felt so inspired by these people. I was like, I want to play that role in someone else's life. This is how I'm going to change the world. I'm going to impact other people by documenting my experience of awakening. I will learn as I go. I don't have it all figured out because I just awakened. I was new to all of this, but I decided I'm going to start making YouTube videos about my spiritual awakening, about the law of attraction, about consciousness, crystals, and all of that. But I had, attempted a few videos within that time where it was like just me in my car, like just like the worst voice. I mean, even my first video, my voice was so shaky and low. It was like, it was so different back then. Before my first ever video, I actually was the day that I bought my first crystals, and you could see I got them all laid out on the table. My first ever video was right after I bought crystals, and I bought this crystal necklace, and this one right here, the blue one, is my blue kyanite, which I have a video on. But my blue kyanite was the first ever crystal pendant that I bought, and it was the day that I made my first ever video. And when I left the store, I looked up what crystals are good for this birthday. And like my specific birthday, I typed in like June 18th is my birthday, and I put that on my phone after I had already bought this. And as I was in my car in the parking lot of the crystal store, I saw the crystal that was meant for my birthday on whatever website I came across that day was blue kyanite. And I was like, I didn't even know that this is what it was at first. And I was like, I need to make sure, because I wrote down on my bag, like my crystal bag, what the names of these crystals were, because I was completely new to it. And I find out that's the crystal that I just bought. I only wanted this because I thought, it's not too flashy. It's just something I can put on. Now, as you see, I don't care about that. So I got my big citrine here. And of course, you guys know I've made a lot of videos on moldavite, which I'm planning on getting back into the crystal videos soon. So just let me know what crystal you guys would want to hear me talk about. But seeing that blue kyanite was the crystal that I was supposed to get for my birthday was such a confirmation. It was like, holy shit, this is real. I'm not losing my mind. Like, this is true. Like, this is like a sign from the universe. It's a synchronicity, the first of very many that I would receive that day and the days after that. And I kept receiving all these signs that I'm supposed to keep making videos, and I'm supposed to keep going on this path. As crazy as the world around me felt, as crazy as I felt to other people, it was like, I don't know, I want to explain this to other people. I want to share what I've learned. And I remember going out one night, this is before my channel started, going out with one of my friends, and I think we were looking at the stars or something on his telescope, and I had just become awakened, so I was like, this is awesome. Like, and I kind of told him about what I had gone through. And this is the first person I think I ever really expressed this to, other than my girlfriend before that. And he was like, I mean, he thought I was crazy. He was like, what are you talking about? I mean, understandably so. I was like showing him spiritual soul videos, and then he was like, you're telling me this guy has it all figured out? And then I showed him Aaron Dowdy, and he was like, he just wasn't open to hearing that information. It's exactly how I would have reacted only a few months prior. So I don't know why I was expecting that to do something for him, but I realized that most people aren't really open to this information. So how am I going to share it? I guess I'm going to have to get on YouTube and share it, because I need somewhere to vent my thoughts. And as I was making the early videos, I wouldn't even show my girlfriend. Eventually, I told her that I was making the videos because I had made her watch Spiritual So, Aaron Doughty, Infinite Waters. Shout out to all those people, by the way. You guys changed my life. But I was making her watch that. I didn't even want to watch movies or shows anymore. I didn't want to play video games. I didn't want to eat any bad foods. I was like losing weight because I was only eating like vegetables and like not getting enough protein, not getting any carbs. Really, I mean, I was just straight up like eating barely anything. Then my girlfriend ended up breaking up with me. Well, actually, I was still making videos while we were in the relationship. She wanted to break up with me for a while, had broken up with me like one time, then we got back together because she felt bad for me. A lot of things other than that I won't share just for privacy reasons. My girlfriend's gone when she eventually broke up with me, and there I was, experiencing a dark night of the soul. And man, it was crazy, because I was still making YouTube videos kind of while going through that dark night of the soul, which is why I couldn't be as consistent as I wanted to. But I was sharing my experience with people. I was sharing my darkness, trying to help them in whatever way I could. And I've got documentation of all of this now, so I'm very happy I did it. But you don't have to have it all figured out. I didn't have it all figured out, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I still don't have it all figured out. I'm a lot farther along than I was, but it was a really difficult experience to go through all of this. Everything was changing around me. I felt like I didn't connect with anybody that I had previously connected with, and it was really weird. It was like, how am I supposed to survive in this world anymore? It's like I'm not even who I believed I was anymore. I feel so alone. I feel like nobody gets me anymore. I feel like there's nowhere to turn. And then I had to realize that the only place I could turn was to myself, and I had to be alone. I had to experience life alone without holding on to anything else, letting go of my attachments to my old belief system, letting go of the fear of what other people will think of me if I start making videos or if I tell them about this stuff. And my whole life just completely transformed. And I realized myself as pure consciousness, and it was the most amazing but yet most scary time of my life. And I'm so nostalgic when I look back on that time period. I was out here at this exact spot making a lot of my early videos, you know, just sitting on the ground with my freaking laptop up as the tripod, basically putting my phone on my laptop just to have it sit up. And it wasn't perfect. Nothing about my life was perfect at that time, but I was learning and I was growing and I was experiencing, and I felt this divine source like flowing through me, and it felt like everything I did was divinely inspired and in alignment. And it was just like the most easy thing, but also the hardest thing. And slowly that dark night of the soul really crept in when I met somebody that I felt like got me. And I felt like, you know, this person gets me. It was the only person I ever met in person that kind of was on the same path. And that whole situation was extremely synchronistic. I mean, it was unbelievably synchronistic. And then that person ends up going down a different path not too long later. disappearing. It's like I'll never see him again. I haven't seen my girlfriend since the day she broke up with me and walked out of my, or got out of the car, and I got out of the car after she dropped me off. You know, I haven't seen either of these people. I haven't seen a lot of people that were important to me in my life, and it's almost like they died. They're still alive, but they died because I never seen them again. And there I was, left all alone with only me to get where I needed to go. And I had to find something within myself that I was looking for in other people. I had to find my own inner strength, my own inner guidance, my own higher self to lead the way. And I'm so glad I started doing this. I'm so glad that I went on this journey, because now I am moving very close towards doing what I love full time. And none of that would have been possible had I stayed in my comfort zone and been too afraid to put myself out there, or been too afraid to try meditation or try any of these things that I felt called to do. It takes courage. It takes courage to really be yourself, you know, to really put yourself out there into the world and show up as the most authentic version of you. It takes a lot of courage. People may make fun of you. People may think you're crazy. You probably would have thought you were crazy before it happened. So have empathy for these people, but realize that nobody can tell you who you should be. Only you can. Only you can decide what way you want to live your life. Don't let all of these influences and social conditioning that society places on you, that tells you that you have to do things a certain way, define you. Because you are undefinable. There's a reason the way these systems work the way they do. When they can control people, they can keep them in fear, and they can control them easier that way. They keep everybody in a fear-based mindset. So when you're going to make a decision to do something, ask yourself, is it a decision based on love, or is it a decision based on fear? Is it coming from love, or is it coming from fear? Is it coming from passion, from a true calling, or is it coming from fear of it not working out, or what other people will think, or whatever it is for you that's holding you back from doing it? If it's based in fear, and that's the reason you want to stay safe and keep yourself in that box that you built yourself, make the decision that might be scarier, but it comes from love, and you'll be surprised where life will take you. Because you are manifesting all the time. You are creating your reality. As crazy as it might sound, you are a creator. The parent and the offspring are no different. You are just the same as the source that created this universe. You are one and the same. It's no different from you. You are connected with everything. The world is yours. As I mentioned in the video, I have a meditation for connecting to your higher self that you can get in the pinned comment and the description of this video, and I think it will really help you have some of those same realizations that I had when I first did a higher self meditation, and I felt that guidance from my higher self, and I felt connected to everything, and I felt like I could let go of fear. And I kind of tried to put some of those intentions into that meditation. So I think it'll be really powerful and life-changing for some of you. And if you want to, hear me do a meditation, click the link. Make sure to check out my video that I'm going to be linking up here, somewhere over here. It'll be popping up on the screen. That is a message for lonely light workers. So anybody that's going through a spiritual awakening, or you feel like you're a light worker, which is just a label, but you feel like that, click the link, or click the video and watch that next. I think it'll help you out on your journey. Peace, love. I love you all. Universal crystals forever.